chosen one. The fact that you are hearing this right now is not random, not coincidental, not accidental. This moment is a divine appointment written in the heavens long before you ever clicked on this video. There has been a quiet pull or holy whisper in your spirit, and now heaven is confirming it. You are on the verge of a supernatural breakthrough, a turning point in the prophetic that will bring you divine wealth, sudden elevation, and a transformation that will take you to the next level. You're not here to have hope. You're here to get something. Things in your life have been shifting, lining up, and readjusting. What felt slow at first is now moving faster. What seemed impossible before is about to happen in ways that make no sense and leave no room for doubt. Heaven has been getting you ready for this very moment by shaping you and polishing you. The seal on your next level is now being broken. As it says in Habakkuk 2:3, "The appointed time always speaks and does not lie. For you, that appointed time is now. So, blessed one, let your spirit be free. Take a deep breath and enter this holy space. The things you're about to hear are not facts. It is passing on. There are already signs that you will become a billionaire. Pick it. It never feels normal when heaven starts to move in your spirit. It never feels like normal. Inside your chest, it feels like a quiet earthquake, a soft but strong pull toward a future that you don't fully understand yet. For those of you who have been feeling that way this season, if you've had a feeling that your life is changing behind the scenes, please hear me out loud. This isn't making things up. This is the start of divine alignment happening around you. I understand how you feel because I've been there. At times, I couldn't figure out why I was restless, why I couldn't stay at ease in places that used to feel like home, or why I started having dreams that were way too big for me. But I get it now. When heaven gets a chosen one ready for elevation, the work starts in the invisible world long before the chosen one sees it. You are being prepared in the same way right now. In every life, there is a time when God whispers, you feel like it's time, not in your ears. Nothing in the real world can stop the supernatural from happening when that whisper comes. Heaven sees everything, even if you can't see it all yet. Even though it may seem like a normal day, what's going on around you is anything but normal. The mood in your room has changed. The steps you're taking now work better. Your name is being called out in places you've never been, and angels are helping you in ways you can't even imagine. I can still remember the first time I felt this change in my life. Even though the outside world hadn't changed yet, I felt like a window had been opened after being closed for too long. Clean air, a better understanding of things, and an indescribable confidence that comes from deep inside. That's what you need to do now. Heaven is telling you that the time has changed. As a chosen one, you are now entering a prophetic moment where things that used to fight you will now see you. This is the kind of change that needs more than just work. It happens because God wants it to. It takes place when God sees that your life is ready for a different harvest. And I know you've been through times when you felt like you were always behind schedule, and setbacks that made you question your own worthiness. It's possible that you've seen doors close without knowing why, and your dreams have been too heavy for the strength you still had. But listen up. Those delays were not turns down. They kept people safe. Every door that shut on you was keeping you from a worse fate. Every prayer that didn't come true was preparing you for a bigger promise. From what I know now, every disappointment was a small change for the better. A divine push toward something bigger than I dared to pray for. You and the Anointed One are both going through the same thing. Do you feel it? You can tell that the old season doesn't fit you anymore. The thoughts you used to hold on to no longer make you feel better. Once, important people no longer talk to your spirit the way they used to. The places you've grown out of feel tighter every day. That's what happens when heaven starts to get a special person ready to go to heaven. You feel different from everyone else because you are different on the inside. Your spiritual growth will happen before your physical growth. The person you were yesterday can't carry over into the person you will be tomorrow. This stretching inside you is proof that you've already reached the next level. Also, I learned something the hard way. When God calls your name, trouble always comes first. Not as a punishment, but to get ready. God will mess up what we know so that He can show us what is divine. At times, the shift makes you feel like you're losing your balance. You may think that your future is heavy, but the truth is that God put your feet on the ground. I not only felt stretched when I went through my own changing season, I also felt stripped, taken away from old identities, fears, beliefs, and ways of thinking I had forgotten that I was still carrying. It hurt too, but I didn't know that heaven was making room for everything I had asked for. You, chosen one, are going through the same thing. You are not losing anything. Things are falling into place for you. This is the reason your spirit has been so upset lately. Why? Been having thoughts you didn't ask for when you wake up. Why your mind has been filling with ideas that seem too good to be random. So you know why you've been having sudden waves of clarity, creative bursts, and moments when you know. These are not just random events. They are early signs that God will step in. The mind awakens before the manifestation happens, when heaven starts getting a chosen one ready for a supernatural transfer. The inside world changes before the outside world does. It's heaven's way of telling you, get ready. I'm about to show you why you went through what you went through. Choose one. Have faith in this moment, because nothing is happening by chance in your life. Things that push, pull, make you feel restless, clear, and spiritually tug at your heart are all leading to the same truth. You are being set up for a level of wealth, spiritual authority, and purpose that will change not only your life, but also the lives of everyone you know. Heaven can see the whole picture, even though you can't yet. You are about to experience a supernatural shift in your wealth and a divine recalibration of your destiny. This isn't what drives you. This is an awakening. Your getting ready has already begun. The air around you has already changed, and your name has already been marked for elevation. Take a deep breath, chosen one. There are signs here. There has been a shift, and heaven is still talking. Pick it. When heaven speeds up your life, the change can feel small at first, like the temperature in your spirit changing. Even if you can't see anything, you know deep down that something has changed in the air around your destiny. At this point, divine alignment starts to work in the background, setting up situations, changing relationships, and making opportunities ready for a long time before they show up. I've been through this area many times, so I know it well. It's the spot where your spirit is awakened even when things look the same. And that inner awakening is heaven's way of telling you that the process of raising you has already begun. As you go through this season, you may realize that the things that used to make you happy no longer do. You no longer feel company in the conversations that used to keep you company. The places that used to feel like home are now too small for me. That pain is not a flaw in your journey. This means that spiritual growth has begun. Heaven will not let you shrink back into a season that doesn't fit your calling. You can't fit into something you've outgrown. This is what I felt when things I knew started losing their color. It wasn't sadness. It was turning around. Heaven was pulling me forward, and it's doing the same thing for you, chosen one. This is also the stage where heaven makes you smarter. All of a sudden, you see people for what they really are. You become aware of intentions you used to ignore. The truth is in the tones that are hidden behind words. It can be shocking to have this much clarity, but it's necessary. When you're with people who drain you, distract you, or change your purpose, you can't step into divine wealth. Heaven shows you what you can't take with you, so it doesn't hurt you later. Along my path, I lost people I thought would always be there for me. But now that I look back, I see that they were never meant to hold the weight of my next level. You are coming to the same realization. The rise in divine interruptions is another sign you may sense. Ideas that come to you out of the blue, sudden insights, chances that you didn't expect, and conversations that feel like they are being led by hands you can't see. These are not just random events. They are spiritual crumbs that will lead you to becoming a billionaire. I didn't understand these nudges when I first started getting them. I know now that heaven doesn't always talk through miracles, but sometimes it does. Watch out for the small changes going on around you. They are moving messages and anointed ones. Really understand this. The wealth that is being saved for you is not like other wealth. A lot of money with a job. Wealth that has a purpose. Wealth that carries weight in the kingdom. This is why you have been preparing so hard. God doesn't pour overflow into vessels that aren't ready. The things that have helped you grow, get better, be stronger, and become more resilient have made you a person who can handle the responsibility of influence. It's not just about what you will get when you have divine wealth. It's about changing into a person who can handle it without losing who they are. I understand that the stress has been high, but that's just a sign that God is making you stronger. Picked. The next part of your journey is marked by speed that seems supernatural. It will only take days to do what used to take months. Things that used to feel hard will now feel easy. The doors that won't open will swing open when you don't knock. This is what happens when heaven touches your present. There were times in my life when nothing happened for years. And then, all of a sudden, everything did. Your suddenly is coming up. Still, acceleration isn't a random thing. It makes sense. Heaven speeds up things that help you reach your goals and slows down things that would get in the way of your plans. Believe in both speeds. There will also be times this season when you feel alone, even when there are other people around. Isolation is not the same as abandonment. It is a dedication. Heaven often takes the chosen one away from noise, so they can clearly hear what they are being told. You might feel like you're being punished for being different, but it's not. It's an honor. It means that heaven has specific plans for getting into your spirit. It means that God is getting ready to tell you something that not everyone can know. I have lived through this silence, and while it was heavy at first, it became the place where new things came to light. You will have the same thing happen to you. As this goes on, your inner world will change even faster than the outside world. Old worries will fall apart. Old ideas will fall apart. Limitations from the past will go away. It might feel like your mind and emotions are falling apart, but it's really your spirit being renewed. You are being rewired to have more money. You are being changed so that you can grow. Being raised will help you think, act, and walk like a rich person would trust. This change inside you is the real start of your billionaire season. Mindset comes before money. Once worthiness is restored, wealth shows up, picked. There are more and more signs around you. Not being able to settle down, getting clear, receiving divine guidance, having sudden breakthroughs, going through emotional changes, becoming more spiritually sensitive, and having intuitive awakenings. It's all heaven letting you know that you are entering a supernatural transfer. What's coming to you wasn't earned by working hard. It's free because God said so. And earth can't say no to what heaven says. Your time as a billionaire won't come someday. It's starting to take shape now. You are entering a time when purpose and wealth come together, where calling and creativity come together, and where fate and chance meet. Do not close off your spirit. Don't lose your faith. Remember what you expect. Heaven is making plans, and your name is on them. Your name has been chosen. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community, seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. As you move deeper into this divine change, you will notice that heaven is no longer whispering what it says, not through thunder or other dramatic signs, but through clarity that cuts through the noise and settles in like the truth you've always known but couldn't put into words. Some of the things you'll say are, "I can't explain it, but I know something is coming." That knowing is proof from the spirit world. It's a mark from heaven on your future, and nothing on earth can take away the mark that heaven puts on a person. You may feel tension between where you are now and where you know you are going, because you are moving into the next phase. Being tense doesn't mean you'll fail or be late. This is the spiritual stretch you feel when your destiny pulls you forward. Think of it as the early morning hours. The light is coming soon, but it's still dark. You can feel the sun rising in your spirit before you see it. I've been through that part. It was uncomfortable, but it was also a sign that a breakthrough was on the way. It's also true for you. When God raises you up, you need to be strong in ways that you can't get while you're comfortable. At times, you felt like you were being ignored, undervalued, or ignored. It wasn't meant for those times to break you. They were meant to help you grow. Heaven closed some doors for you so that you could grow into the kind of person who can confidently walk through the right ones. Ascent without preparation leads to destruction. Heaven loves you too much to raise you up without getting you ready. Every lonely night, silent prayer, tear, let down, and delay helps you become the kind of person you need to be for the next level. Pick it. A lot of the things that have been bothering you lately are not signs of a spiritual attack. They are signs of a spiritual change. Old systems break down just as you're about to enter a new realm. Old bonds break down. It's easier to break old habits. You're not as scared of old fears as you used to be. This is because your soul is getting rid of things that don't fit anymore. Sometimes you may feel like your life is going faster and faster at the same time. That paradox is from God. In the cocoon, a caterpillar loses its whole identity before it turns into a butterfly. What looks like destruction is actually building. Inside you, the same change is taking place. Heaven will give us a level of insight that feels like revelation during this process. You will see your life in a new way. You'll know why some things didn't work out. Pain from the past will serve a purpose. You'll find divine fingerprints in things that seemed chaotic at first. This clarity is like heaven getting your mind ready to overflow. Having money, but not knowing how to use it is useless. It's risky to have influence without understanding. This is why revelation always comes before elevation. Beloved one, the way new desires start to grow in you is one of the strongest signs that you are about to receive supernatural wealth. Not once out of greed, but wants to make a difference. You will want to build, make change, and inspire others. You'll be drawn to ideas that make other people's lives better and bless them. This is because your spirit is in line with the kingdom's plenty. Divine wealth isn't about getting money. It's about giving resources to the right places for a reason. Your heart is getting bigger, which means that heaven trusts you with more. During this season, you will also start to meet people who seem to have been sent to you by God. Helpers of destiny, spiritual friends, and people whose words confirm what heaven has been saying. They might show up out of the blue, but it will feel like they were meant to be there. One of heaven's best tricks is to connect you with people on earth whose lives mirror your spiritual future. Pay close attention to the people who come into your life right now. Not everyone is a mess. Some of them answer prayers you forgot to say. Picked. There may also be times when your gut feeling is stronger than your logic. When the path doesn't make sense, you'll feel like you know which way to go. That is not feeling. That's God leading. Heaven guides the chosen ones more by what they feel inside than by what they see. Because what's coming to you is supernatural and can't be planned. Logic can't get you to where fate wants you to go. You need to listen to the voice inside you that says, go, move, trust. Let me talk about something you may be having a hard time with right now. Not sure. Your mind will try to hold on to old fears, even when the divine speed up is high. Why me? Can this really happen? May be on your mind. But pay close attention. You were picked out before you even had doubts. You were chosen long before you asked questions. Heaven didn't choose you because of how sure you are of yourself. It chose you because of what you were meant to do. Every great destiny starts with someone who didn't think they were good enough before. I've also wondered if I was called to this. But heaven always reminded me that purpose is something you are born with, not something you earn. This is why heaven has been helping you figure out who you are. If you're only thinking about survival, you can't reach your billionaire goal. If you think you're small, you can't have divine wealth. Why is heaven changing the way you see yourself? Because how you see yourself needs to match your God-given destiny. As of late, every moment of clarity, boost of confidence, and spiritual awakening you've had is heaven showing you who you really are again. And as you walk forward, chosen one, really understand this truth. Divine timing doesn't happen by chance. Right now, you are hearing this message because your spirit is in sync with the time of year. You are being connected to chances, partnerships, ideas, and paths that have been hidden until the right time. Right now, that moment is taking place. You're not just getting close to breakthrough. You are becoming who you are. You are becoming the person that heaven wrote about you before you were born. The version where you have power, clarity, creativity, abundance, and a sense of purpose. You are entering a level of life that is unlike anything you have ever experienced before. You have been chosen. As you go deeper into this divine unfolding, you will notice that heaven is not only changing the world around you, but also waking you up. This awakening inside of you is holy. At that moment, your spirit starts to rise above your problems, not because things changed for you, but because you did. And when heaven changes, you have to eventually accept what happens outside. This is the quiet but strong proof that you are already on track to becoming a billionaire. Even though you can't see the whole picture yet, your spirit already knows that this is the right time for something big to happen. Pay close attention to how your wants change. Not the shallow wants of the past, but the deep need to have a purpose, make a difference, and leave a legacy. These wants aren't just picked at random. They are signs from God. Heaven will always make your dreams bigger before it makes your reality bigger. You're no longer happy with what you used to settle for. What you used to put up with is now making you angry. Your soul is growing out of its old limits, which is why you feel spiritually uncomfortable. This is a sign that God is pushing you to a higher level of your calling. I remember when this change happened to me. There was no change around me. Still, everything inside me wanted to grow. That's how I knew God was getting me ready for more. Now you know for sure. Picked. You might also notice that new ideas come to you in a very clear way. Things you never thought about before. Strategies that seem way too smart to have come from human reasoning alone. Visions that come to you out of the blue, like your future self telling you, this is who you are becoming. These downloads from God are holy. They are glimpses into the plan for your life. A lot of the biggest steps forward I've ever felt started as a whisper, and it happened when I wasn't even praying. After a while, I realized that heaven often speaks loudest when we are still. Pay attention to those thoughts. They're not just thoughts. They are seeds of wealth. Heaven will also change the way you relate to others during this time. Some people will just vanish without a trace. Others are going to pull away. Some people will no longer get your journey. At first, this might hurt, but chosen one, it has to be done. Heaven will never let a chosen person go into a divine season with people who aren't ready to walk with them. Not because you don't want to be alone, but because you need to get clear. Before revelation, every elevation needs to be alone. I went through the same thing. I lost my voice. I thought they were permanent, but I later realized that having them around would have slowed my growth. Heaven keeps you safe by taking away what isn't working right and anointing one in this holy space between. It will feel like spiritual warfare is around you stronger than usual. It's not that you're weak. It's because you're nearby. The enemy will always attack just before a breakthrough. There's a chance that confusion will try to cloud your judgment. If you're tired, your body may try to slow you down. Fears from the past may try to come back. But keep this in mind, these stresses are not signs of defeat. They're signs of advancement. The enemy goes after what heaven is about to raise up. I can remember times when everything went wrong just before things got better. Now, I know that those moments were confirmations, not chances to choose the other side. Also, this is the stage where you need to be intentional about the mood. The people you talk to, the media you watch, and the thoughts you let stay with you. This season must have everything work out for your good. Focusing on what's important brings in divine wealth. Another sneaky attack from the enemy is distraction, which doesn't kill you right away. It slowly drains you. But heaven is telling you to sharpen your focus, protect your spirit, feed your faith, and grow gratitude, even as you work toward your breakthrough. In this season, being thankful is more than just an emotion. It's fuel for high places. As you walk, you'll start to feel a new sense of bravery rising inside you. It will feel different when you pray. You'll have more hope. Your faith will be stirred up. The Holy Spirit is getting your inner world ready to show up. You are being taught to think like someone who controls money, not like someone who wants it. The amount of abundance that heaven is letting out is changing who you are on the inside. It may seem strange, but this change is proof that the supernatural is already at work. And blessed one, let me tell you something very personal. At times on my journey, I didn't think I was ready for the level of blessing I knew was on the way. I asked myself some things. I had doubts about my skills. I wasn't sure if I could really hear God. But this is what I learned. Heaven never calls people who are ready. Heaven checks out the called. You're not becoming a billionaire because you're perfect. You are stepping into it because you were picked, tested, improved, and made ready. Heaven can see things about you that you can't see yet. From the inside, your identity is being changed. You're not the same person who hopes things will get better. You're changing into someone who knows it will happen. That confidence comes from God. That confidence is proof. That trust comes from being a parent. Picked. Here is the truth that ends this part. You are closer than you think to making your dreams come true. Heaven is moving because of the changes inside you. The birth pains of breakthrough are the restlessness, the vision, the separation, the clarity, and the divine nudges. The next parts of your life have already been written in heaven, and they are full of plenty, power, meaning, and unending favor. Picked. As we move on to the next part of this prophetic journey, remember that heaven is not only getting you ready for money, it's also getting you ready for who you are. If someone is chosen, heaven always changes their heart before giving them divine wealth. At this point in time, that change is clearly and quickly happening. Your future will need people like you as you grow. You are taking off the masks of the person you were taught to be and becoming the real person you were made to be. This change inside you might feel strong. There may be times when old insecurities come back to you, not to make you weaker, but to be freed for good. Many times, old wounds come to the surface not to hurt you, but to heal. You might feel limiting beliefs falling apart in your mind. This isn't because things are easy, but because heaven is showing you how strong you really are. There is no chance in these inner changes. They are holy signs that show what will happen. First, heaven shows you how to get past the things that used to hold you back so it can trust you with plenty. Pick it. You may feel like your goals are growing faster than your resources at this point in your life. This is a design from God. Heaven always shows a chosen person the picture before it comes true. The goal comes first. The resources show up later. There have been times when the dreams God gave me were much bigger than anything I could hold. But faith grows in the space between how things look and how they actually are. It's where obedience gets stronger. It's where spiritual power is built. Heaven tells you where you're going early on, so you can start making changes to become ready to walk there. As you move through this stage, heaven will also start to make your intuition stronger. Things will feel right before they happen. You will know what people are trying to say before they say it. You will know what to do before you understand why you should do it. This intuitive clarity isn't a fluke. Spiritual intelligence is what it is. The sound you hear is your spirit tuning in to the frequency of divine guidance. There were times when I felt like I should turn down a good chance. I found out later that heaven was keeping me safe from traps I couldn't see. Do what your gut tells you. That's not how you feel. They are warnings and directions from God. Picked. You will also start to feel acceleration in places you didn't expect it. It will feel light to have conversations that used to feel heavy. Things that used to take work will now be easy to do. Problems that have been going on for a long time will have easy solutions. These times, when time seems to move faster, are signs that heaven has moved you to a different timeline. Once God says, "It's your time," waiting won't help. Things that are obstacles become weaker. Resistance stops having an effect. In my own life, there were times when nothing happened for years, and then times when everything did. Heaven confirmed that the waiting was never in vain with that sudden flow. And anointed one, you will also start to feel a stronger call to honesty. Divine wealth isn't earned by lying or taking short cuts. It is based on honesty, character, and following the rules. You might not want to be dishonest about anything, no matter how small. You might feel like you need to break bad habits or patterns. You might be more drawn to doing what is right than you were before. This is heaven making your heart stronger, so that you can have money without letting it govern you. God doesn't just bless the person He has picked. He makes the heart happy. Your heart is getting ready for an impact that will last longer than you. Also, this is the time of year when heaven makes your way easier. Get rid of distractions. The confusion goes away. It doesn't matter what used to pull you in a lot of different directions. This is a divine simplification. This means that heaven is focusing your attention on a specific goal. I used to have many goals spread out over time. But during my time of change, heaven made my vision clearer. It didn't change my fate. It made it better. Your spirit is being refined in the same way right now. Chosen one, you may also start to want a stronger spiritual connection. It becomes easier to pray. It makes worship more meaningful. It doesn't feel empty when it's quiet. That hunger is a sign that you are getting closer to heaven. Intimacy is what God puts in your heart before He gives you plenty. It becomes clearer what you want as you get closer to Him. It starts in the presence of God long before it shows up in a person's life. And let me be clear, about this truth. Your billionaire season isn't just about having a lot of money. It's about having power, being responsible, having spiritual authority, and being able to change lives. Heaven isn't giving you money just to look good. Heaven is giving you lots of money for work. When wealth is in the hands of the right person, it has an effect, heals, and changes things. Your fate is linked to lives other than your own. There are people you haven't met yet who are linked to your wealth. Heaven is building the strength it needs for overflow at this holy stage. You will notice that problems that used to scare you won't bother you as much. Attacks that used to shake you now make you stronger. The reason for this is not that life got easier. It's because you got stronger. Heaven has made your spirit strong for all the good things that are coming. As we end this section, Chosen One, please fully understand this. You are in the middle of building something divine. Every feeling, thought, and revelation is a part of heaven. They all work together to make you into the person who can carry supernatural wealth with wisdom, humility, and power. Your future is not a guess. Your breakthrough isn't a fluke. Heaven is intentionally getting you ready. Pick it. Heaven is starting to show you parts of your identity that you may have forgotten or never fully understood as you continue to go through this sacred change. At this point in the journey, the supernatural is clear to see. In these situations, the air around your life feels charged with a purpose you can't quite explain, but know is there. There may be times when your spirit feels incredibly alert. It's like something inside you woke up after a long sleep. This awakening isn't a mistake. It's the result of divine planning that's been going on below the surface, getting you ready for the weight of the wealth and responsibility that will come your way. During times like these, my spirit felt ahead of my reality. It wasn't until later that I realized heaven was just speeding up my inner world so that my outer world could catch up. During this stage, you may suddenly want to know more about yourself, not just about your health or your relationships. You want to find out who you are at your core, not your fears, expectations, or survival instincts. Heaven is getting rid of the fake versions of yourself that you learn to be in this world. It's not painful to tear this. It is a slow removal of things that don't fit with who you are becoming. It hit me that the version of myself I had been protecting wasn't good enough for the future God had planned for me. You, chosen one, are now coming to the same realization. Your real self is starting to show itself. It thinks bigger, stands taller, dreams bigger, and moves with holy confidence. As your spirit wakes up, you'll notice that your thoughts start to move to a higher level. You might start to see opportunities differently that you didn't see before. You now feel like you can do things that used to scare you. Problems that seemed impossible to solve before now seem manageable. In this case, God is recalibrating. Heaven is making you stronger so that you can receive, handle, and multiply what is coming. This way of expanding your mind is spiritual work. It's heaven lifting you up from the inside. I can remember times in my own life when my thoughts grew bigger than my circumstances. And I found out later that God always improves the mind before the environment. Having more and more meaningful coincidences is another strong sign that heaven is guiding you. At the right time, the right person says the right thing. Run into things that you can't explain as luck. The conversations that back up what your spirit already knew. These moments don't just happen. They are a divine arrangement. Heaven is putting opportunities, people, and places in your path. This level of alignment is out of this world. When this happened to me, I learned that divine connections are a way for heaven to speed up your destiny. Pay close attention to the new people that come into your life right now. Some are angels that look like people. They are either part of your destiny or the answer to prayers you said years ago. Pick it. You might also start to feel a strong pull toward a path. You feel like you're being pulled toward something bigger than yourself. Even if it's not clear yet, this pull is heaven telling you that your life has a purpose. This is where your spiritual desire starts to grow. Not ambition that comes from ego, but ambition that comes from a calling. You want to build, make an impact, make something, or change something. These wants aren't selfish. They are holy. They show that heaven is getting you ready to be a leader of influence. Wanting to get ahead is not pride. It has a purpose. The first time I felt this pull, I thought it was restlessness. I didn't realize it was God waking me up to my job until much later. At this point, you will also face resistance that you didn't expect. When a chosen one is moving up, the opposition usually gets stronger. There's no reason to feel bad. You're almost there. This resistance can come from doubt, hopelessness, sudden problems, or a heavy spirit. But pay attention to this. Resistance is the dark side of breaking through. I always ran into supernatural resistance because there was something strong on the other side. Do not get your battles wrong. They show that spiritual momentum is building. Heaven doesn't let anything touch you unless it's for a reason. Also, the way you feel about time might start to change. You will feel a divine urgency. not a rushed urgency. You have to act and get ready to move, even though you don't know where you're going yet. This sounds like heaven talking. It's almost time for you. When time speeds up in heaven, your spirit feels it before your body does. During some times, I thought something was going to happen a long time before it did. That feeling of anticipation wasn't worry. It was a sign from the prophets. Now you feel that same pull, because heaven is about to open doors you didn't know were there. Picked. An increase in gratitude before blessings. Shope is another sign of elevation. This gratitude just comes up on its own. It's something you know deep down. It makes you happy that certain things haven't come to you yet, because you know that they are meant to. This thanksgiving is faith in action. Your soul is telling you, I trust what heaven is doing. Being thankful became my anchor when I felt this change in my own life. It kept me steady when things were still getting to me emotionally. Finally, at this stage, heaven will start to show who is in charge. You'll get a sense of your spiritual strength when you speak with confidence you didn't know you had, or when your presence makes other people feel calm. You might feel like your words have more power. Your intuition is stronger, and decisions you make are based on knowledge that goes beyond your years. This kind of power is not arrogance. It is a sign from God. Heaven is getting ready to give you power. And power comes from having inner authority. As you move into the next stage of your transformation, chosen one, heaven is starting to show you the bigger picture of your fate. At this point, the supernatural is no longer just a feeling, it's a pattern. You start to notice that your life isn't just happening by chance anymore. Instead, everything looks like it's part of a bigger tapestry that was made by hands that can't be seen. You have the feeling that every move you make, choice you make, and moment you live is filled with divine purpose. This level of awareness is a sign that a person has grown spiritually. I remember this change in how I felt when life stopped being random and started feeling planned, as if heaven had been planning every move before I got there. During this phase, your spirit will start making clear demands that you can't push away. Habits that didn't seem dangerous at first now feel heavy. People who used to feel safe now feel like they don't fit in. Places that used to feel comfortable now make me feel suffocated. No, this is not anger. This is spiritual growth. Heaven is changing the way you feel so that it fits with your future. I used to think something was wrong with me every time I outgrew a place. I learned later that it meant something was right. It's never easy to grow, but it always feels like it's necessary. You are becoming someone bigger than you used to be, and that person needs more space, clarity, and spiritual discipline. You might also start to hear the whispers of divine strategy at this time. Your ideas start to make more sense. It gets easier for you to see. Your choices start to line up with a future you haven't lived through, but can understand. This is heaven planting strategic ideas in your mind. These strategies might show up in your dreams, in quiet times, or when you least expect it. Some of the best ideas that heaven ever gave me came to me at the worst times, usually when I wasn't ready to write them down. I knew they weren't mine, though. They got to me through me. You will also start getting advice that seems too good to be true. Picked. Your emotional awareness getting stronger is another sign that heaven is lifting you up. You'll start to feel things more deeply, but not in a weak way. Instead, you'll become spiritually sensitive. You will be able to tell if someone is telling the truth or not. You'll be able to tell the difference between calm and stress within seconds. You will be able to tell how someone is feeling in a room. The fact that I am more sensitive is not a burden. It's a gift. Heaven makes your emotional radar sharper, so you can make smarter choices about relationships, opportunities, and decisions. Heaven wants to give you more responsibility, but it also wants you to be smarter. As you continue to rise, you will feel a new hunger for knowledge. You might be interested in learning more than just how to be successful. You might be interested in learning about spiritual laws, human behavior, discipline, purpose, and calling. This hunger is proof that heaven is making you smarter and more spiritual at the same time. I remember the first time this hunger came on. I didn't know I was thirsty until it felt like it, because I found out how little I knew the more I learned. This humility set me up for a bigger revelation. That same humility is now making things possible for you, chosen one. Know that the path to divine elevation always includes a time of shedding. You will be asked to let go of things you used to hold on to, like beliefs that kept you small, relationships that kept you stuck, and habits that kept you the same. Shedding is not the same as loss. Freedom is what it is. I learned that heaven always gave me something better when I let go of something out of obedience. What you let go of out of fear turns into regret. When you obey, what you let go of becomes your reward. Heaven will never take something away from you without giving you something better in return. This is also a time of year when your strength will surprise you. Problems that used to make you weak will now show you how strong you are. You will know you are smarter, move smarter, and get over things faster. This toughness isn't by chance. It's heaven teaching you how to handle plenty without giving in to it. I have seen people get blessings they weren't ready for, only to lose them because they weren't strong enough to handle the weight. Heaven is making sure that will never happen to you. You are being made to last. As you go through this deep change, you may also feel very alone at times. These moments are not alone. They are laying eggs. Heaven often hides the chosen ones while getting them ready to be seen by everyone. This is not a punishment to be quiet. It keeps you safe. These are the places where heaven sends the clearest instructions, the deepest healing, and the strongest sense of self. When I felt the most alone was when I had some of the most powerful revelations I've ever had. But heaven was really close. You, chosen one, are the same way. The supernatural will keep showing up in the form of signs, which are subtle but undeniable proof that you are in tune with your destiny. There will be recurring numbers, dreams, moments of synchronicity, and meetings that feel like they were written by heaven. These signs are from heaven telling you to keep going. You're on the right track. Hey, pay attention. Your life is telling you something. Your spirit is leading you, and heaven is teaching you. Finally, as this section comes to a close, really understand this. You're not just getting ready to get rich. You are getting ready to be a channel for divine change. The wealth that is coming to you is not normal. It goes back generations. It will change your life, your family tree, your power, and the way people see you. Heaven isn't just giving you things. If heaven gives you responsibility, that responsibility is holy. Pick it. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Something changes in how you see yourself and the world around you when heaven brings you into the deeper stages of change. Things that used to feel normal start to feel too small, and things that used to make you happy don't reach the parts of you that want to grow anymore. This doesn't mean that you're unhappy. It's a sign that God is growing. You are being pushed past the limits of what you know, because your spirit is getting ready for the abundance your future needs. I remember going through a similar season and feeling a quiet pull away from things that used to make me feel safe, like conversations, places, and even ways of thinking that used to feel safe. It was hard for me to understand at first, but now I know that heaven was freeing me from a mold I had outgrown. You are going through the same thing. There is no loss of who you used to be. You are becoming more like yourself. You will start to notice that you are more sensitive to divine guidance as this inner change takes place. You'll be able to tell energy differences faster. You will be able to spot misalignment more easily. You'll also start to have a sense of knowing about people, chances, and choices long before any physical proof shows up. This is heaven making you smarter, because the path you are taking needs a more sensitive spiritual radar. Before there is more responsibility, there must be more clarity. This sharpening happens to every chosen one before they are raised. Your heart is now tuned to the frequency of heaven, which will help you move through this new season with grace and accuracy. It's okay if you feel more sensitive or emotional than usual. You're not getting too stressed out. You are becoming aware. As your spiritual awareness grows, you may also feel a stronger spiritual hunger. You may want to get closer to God, pray more, think more, or just sit in silence and let your spirit breathe. There's no chance in that. You can feel the Holy Spirit getting your mind ready for the power and wealth that are coming. When God wants to make something bigger, He starts by making someone's spirit bigger. You might resist old habits without trying, let go of old patterns without trying, or lose interest in things that used to interest you. This is a wonderful detox. Heaven is cleaning the air around you. This gives your blessing a clean place to land. Picked. Your vision getting clearer is another sign that this change is happening. It's easier to get ideas. Problems are solved before they become big. You start to see life not as a bunch of problems, but as a place where God can plan things out. You're not just smarter than average to have this much clarity. It comes from being in line. When your heart is in line with heaven, you can be creative without even trying. Ideas come to you like water. I've been through this many times. At times, I felt stuck for months at a time, but all of a sudden, a moment of alignment gave me the answers I had been looking for, but couldn't find. That's what you are getting now from heaven. Unlocking what years of hard work couldn't do is one moment of revelation. People and things around you will start to change as you change from the inside out. It's easy for doors that were shut to open again. Chances that seemed far away will now come to you, instead of you having to chase them. People who used to ignore you will now see how valuable you are. This isn't because you're changing on the outside. The reason is that your spiritual frequency is going up. Whatever happens to you happens because your spirit is rising. That's why those who have been chosen don't look for blessings. By becoming the best version of who they were meant to be, they attract them. To change, you also need to be brave, because following a new calling often means leaving your comfort zone. In my own journey, there were times when I had to leave what was familiar and trust only the whisper in my spirit about what was next. And even though the path seemed uncertain, the promise could not be denied. God was with me the whole time. You are being asked to trust them the same way they do. Step by step, clarity will come when heaven lifts you up. At first, not all at once. But with each step, supernatural alignment, provision, and protection will be there to help. Also, you'll notice that people start to treat you differently. Some people will be drawn to your light. Some people will be scared by it. Do not shrink to make them feel better. Elevation always shows what people around you are up to. God shows you who can rise with you and who can't when He lifts you up. This is why some relationships end on their own as people change. People aren't leaving you. You are getting ready for the people who will be in your next chapter. Picked. Your identity becoming stronger is the most important part of this change. You will start to understand that you were never normal. You will realize that everything you went through helped you get ready. You'll realize that being turned down, being alone, having setbacks, and even failing were all things that made you stronger in ways that money can't buy. Kindness, discipline, intelligence, and discernment. These traits of a divine billionaire have been building up in you by heaven for a long time, even before you can see how high you've risen. As you grow, you will be able to have power without being corrupt, money without being proud, and success without losing your soul. And soon you will be rewarded in public, because heaven has seen how consistent you are behind closed doors. What is being formed in you is not short-term wealth. It's a purpose for life. Each change in your spirit makes you a better person who can change not only your own life, but also the lives of many others. Because you are stepping into a destiny that needs the best version of yourself. You are being placed, improved, strengthened, and grown. Let this transformation keep going. Let heaven finish what it's doing in you. Your rise is not only coming, it's already happening inside you. As you continue to change, chosen one, heaven starts to make the outside world fit with your inner growth. This is where the supernatural can be seen. This is where the prayers you made years ago start to come true quickly. At this point, the maturity, faith, and obedience you've grown in silence start to show in your daily life. There will be times when the process seems too much to handle, but remember that you are fulfilling promises that were made about your life long before you knew they existed. Speeding up is one of the first outside signs of this alignment. Things move faster than you thought they would. Conversations can lead to chances. Ideas can make you money. Little things have big effects. Not because you're putting in more effort. It's because heaven is making your efforts count for more. I've been through times when months of progress suddenly turned into years of no progress at all. It felt like a strong wind from heaven was pushing everything forward. It was hard for me to understand at first, but now I understand that when heaven approves of your action, delay ends and momentum starts. You are stepping into the same supernatural speed. Connections with God are another sign. You'll start to meet people you never thought you'd meet. People who have power, knowledge, resources, or open doors will come into your life just when you need them. These are not just random events. These are appointments with fate. Heaven sets up relationships that are right for your future when you've been chosen to rise. Just as important, heaven gets rid of people who can't go with you to the next level. At first, this may feel like a loss, but it's really a way to protect yourself. Every person who leaves your life makes room for someone who is important to your calling. Chosen one, you will also start to notice that problems that used to scare you now seem manageable. You are no longer scared of problems that used to be too much for you. This is because your spirit is stronger now than it was before. There is no longer a survival mode for you. You are acting with a purpose, and fear loses its power when purpose takes over. Moving forward will be clear instead of fuzzy, full of confidence instead of doubt, and calm instead of panic. This change in how you feel inside means you are ready for the weight of abundance. At this point, too, provision starts to show up out of the blue. Your needs are met before you say them. Resources show up before you ask for them. Chances come to you without you having to look for them. In divine assignment, there is a supernatural flow like this. There have been times in my life when I didn't know what would happen. Still, I couldn't explain how everything fit together. That's what it means to walk on water from heaven. And the same good luck is starting to fall on your life. God has already promised you something, so you won't have to beg for it. You will notice that your ability to discern gets even better as you move deeper into this alignment. You will know when there is danger and when there is an opportunity before it is clear. You'll know when to speak up and when to be quiet. This is heaven teaching you how to wisely handle the next season. For elevation, you need to be aware. Clarity is needed for abundance. Having influence means taking responsibility, and heaven is getting you ready for all three of them. Also, the way you think will start to change. You will think about growth instead of constrictions. What you'll dream about is having a purpose instead of just staying alive. You will make plans like you expect to win, not like you're afraid of failing. I remember when this change took place for me. Can I really do this? Stop bothering me, and I was made for this started to fill my mind. That shift let me into rooms I didn't know were there. You are going through the same change. You are starting to understand that you are in charge. You are getting a better sense of who you are. And once a chosen one knows who they are, they can't be stopped. And as you change how you think, your environment will change too. The conversations you have will get better. The places you'll want to be will change. The way you carry yourself will naturally make you look better. There's no need to look different. You're changing. Your energy is getting stronger to match your calling. As a reward for your faithfulness, heaven is now giving you chances that will test the strength you've gained through all your trials. But this may be the most beautiful sign of divine alignment. It gets stronger and stronger until you can feel God's presence. You feel guided, supported, and safe in ways that you can't fully explain. You feel clear where there was confusion before. Where worry used to be too much for you, you now feel calm. You're stronger in places where you were weak before. Here, heaven leads you step by step, moment by moment, to the promised land. It's not just a new season for you, chosen one. You are moving into a new identity, frequency, and path. Heaven is setting you up for greatness, which is changing everything inside and around you. You've been through the fire. You made it through the pruning. Now that you've passed the tests, the divine alignment can begin. The way things are going can't be stopped. This hill has your name written on it, and your future is about to start. By this point in your journey, you have chosen one. Heaven has already started to show you the bigger reason for everything you've been through. You begin to understand that your whole life was not a waste. There was no chance. And nothing was a mistake. Every wait, every closed door, every hard season, and every unexpected turn was making you stronger, so you could carry the weight of the calling you were born to do. As you reach this stage, divine clarity starts to settle in like a calm sunrise. Even though you don't know everything yet, you can feel a deep knowing coming on. Faith that doesn't depend on your situation, but on your spirit. Heaven is telling you that you are ready. As your understanding grows, you realize that your journey wasn't so much about getting somewhere, but about becoming the kind of person who can handle getting there without losing who they are. You can see how your struggles made you stronger, how your heartbreak made you more compassionate, how your disappointments made you smarter, and how your times of loneliness made your relationship with God stronger. You start to understand that the battles you lived through were not punishments when you look back. They were getting ready. They were divine preparations for the power, wealth, and influence you are now stepping into. And now, chosen one, your spirit starts to feel something strong, like you're not the same person you used to be. You now have a presence and a wisdom that you didn't learn from books or lectures, but from the pain of life and the closeness of God. On the outside, people may see the same person, but on the inside, you are someone else. Heaven has made you better. You act in a different way. You make a different choice. You have a different view. Now that things have changed, heaven can give you strategies and instructions that are only for people who have been through fire and stayed true. As you move through this stage, you may start to have visions and ideas that are very clear. You can see not only what you want, but also what you are meant to make. You can feel the plan for your future coming together piece by piece. You start to feel drawn to tasks, goals, and projects that connect with your spirit in a way that nothing else has. This isn't just a goal. This is a calling, and heaven always backs up calling with signs. For those who have been feeling nudges, inner whispers, or an idea that just won't go away, know that heaven is trying to lead you to the next part of your destiny. With that said, this stage will also bring more responsibility. Heaven will start to test your leadership in small ways. A lot more will depend on small choices. People will pay more attention to what you say. People will be affected by your presence, even if you don't try to. Some people may ask for your help without knowing why. They're not responding to who you are. It's because they feel your spirit. This is what happens when someone is chosen by God and given divine authority. You are moving into a time when you won't just live life. The air around you is shaped by you. This power comes with a new level of discernment. Things you used to put up with will start to bother you. The places that don't match your spirit will make you feel uneasy. You will know when someone's goals don't match up with your calling. Please don't judge me. It keeps you safe. Heaven is keeping you safe from people who could hurt your rise. Don't be shocked if you feel like some relationships are ending. This is heaven making room for the people who are next in line for you. Picked. This part of your journey also makes you feel very proud of yourself. No longer do you feel guilty about setting limits. You decide to value your time, energy, peace, and purpose more. You start to say no to things that make you feel bad. Yes to things that make you better. Fear is no longer controlling what you do. No longer do you let doubt keep you quiet. This is what it feels like to be spiritually mature. You are becoming more stable, centered, and sure of the identity that heaven has given you. As this identity grows stronger, heaven starts putting you in places you thought were out of reach before. Chances that you used to pray for now come to you naturally. Connections that you used to admire now want to be with you. Things that used to seem impossible to get to are now easily coming your way. At this point, you can see the supernatural alignment. What used to take work now needs obedience. Things that seemed slow before now seem to be moving faster. You are entering a rhythm of grace where everything starts to happen at just the right time. Along with this alignment, you may also notice that the voice inside of you is kinder, more grounded, and more sure of itself. You talk to yourself in a different way. Instead of criticizing yourself, you tell yourself nice things. You don't doubt yourself, you guide yourself. This change takes place because your spirit knows you are no longer living from fear or trauma. You are living with a purpose and knowing who you are. Finally, you're thinking like someone with a purpose, not just someone trying to get by each day. And picked one. The peace that starts to settle in your soul may be the most beautiful thing about this stage. Something that can't be shaken by everyday things. The peace that comes from trusting the one who knows everything, not from being able to understand it all. You start to walk with quiet confidence because you know that God is leading you every step of the way. Every step you take is spiritually aligned, and every moment was planned to be good for you. This peace will hold you up. It turns into your guide. It makes you stronger. Heaven will ask you to confidently take on chances that seem too big for you as this season goes on. Not because you aren't qualified, but because God is making you stronger. The Holy Spirit will push you to take risks you used to avoid, face challenges you used to be afraid of, and go into places you used to think you weren't worthy of. But pay close attention. You're all set. You're all set. You have what you need. You will get all the help you need as soon as you take the first step. Picked. From this stage on, you will start to emerge. You're coming out from behind. You are making a move without being ready. There will be more people seeing you. Everything is about to see what heaven has been making behind closed doors. And everything in your life is working toward the goal you were born to achieve. Your change isn't going away. It is speeding up. What comes next won't just make you feel better either. It will change who you are. Picked. As you enter this last part of your transformation, a deep change starts to happen inside you. Something that ordinary language can't fully describe, because it's a spiritual awakening that only those who have been called and chosen can understand. This is the point where fate starts to show itself, where everything that seemed far away before feels close enough to touch, and your spirit starts to rise with the authority that can only come from being sent by God. Your plans for the future are no longer being made. You're going to walk into it. During this season, you will start to feel a strange sense of bravery rising up inside you. That kind of courage that doesn't come from being sure of yourself, but from a deep spiritual knowing. Not only were you chosen, but you were also given the tools you need. You no longer wonder if you belong in the rooms that used to scare you. You stop questioning whether you can handle the task that has been given to you. You start to talk, think, and move like you finally understand that heaven is perfect, A-L-L-T-H-E, timey. You were chosen for this moment long before you were strong enough to handle it. As this bravery grows, you'll also notice that silence has more meaning. No longer do you feel like you have to explain yourself to people who don't get your journey. Your calling doesn't need to be proven anymore. No longer do people need to praise your growth. There is a deep sense of maturity in you. Now a calmness that came from getting through the storms. You know how to move with quiet confidence, do things without saying anything, and build things without bragging. Your rise is unstoppable because you are humble. Heaven lifts those who know how to kneel and pick one. Also, this is the time of year when divine timing shows up in your daily life. Things start to link together in ways that can't be accidents. The best times for meetings are always chosen. Ideas come to you at just the right time. The timing of opportunities is perfect. You become aware that nothing feels forced anymore. The way everything moves and fits together makes it look like it was planned from above. When your life lines up with heaven's calendar, it feels like this. Delays go away. Resistance gives way. The speeding up starts. During this busy time of year, your gifts will get better amazingly quickly. It will be easy to do things that used to take work. It will be easy for you to be creative. The answers will show up almost right away. You'll start to see opportunities where other people see obstacles, and doors where other people see walls. You're not getting smarter. This is the Holy Spirit bringing out in you abilities that have always been there, but were hidden until the right time. Heaven gives a chosen one powers that were meant to be used only during their time of influence, when they reach adulthood. Also, you'll feel like your spirit is heavier in a holy way, not heavy, but heavy with purpose. You can tell that your life is important to more than just your own story. You start to think about generations instead of just one at a time. You start to dream about leaving a legacy instead of just surviving. You start to understand that the money, power, and influence that are coming to you are not just for you, but also for the people, families, communities, and countries that are linked to your assignment. This knowledge makes you feel more responsible and makes you more determined. Your compass is now your purpose. Picked. Your relationship with God gets closer, more personal, and more stable, which is another strong sign of this stage. You will feel His presence when you thought you were by yourself. You will feel His guidance when making choices that used to be hard for you. There will be times when your heart is still and you will hear His whispers. This closeness holds you down. It sets the stage for everything you do after that. When heaven gives power to a chosen one, it brings them closer, not farther away. Because elevation needs connection. You are being pulled into deeper communion. As this connection gets stronger, your identity becomes solid. You are no longer thrown off by other people's thoughts, feelings, or situations. You already know. You know who you are. You already know why you're here. You start to carry yourself with a soft authority that sounds much better than being cocky. The change will be felt by many, even if they can't explain it. They will feel how strong, clear, and calm you are. They will see that you have a spiritual mantle on your life. This is the glow of someone who is walking in their divine calling. You will also feel a softening of the heart, more compassion for others, and a deeper understanding of their feelings because of what you went through. No longer will you judge people. you will start to understand them. This kindness turns into your superpower, because power without empathy leads to arrogance. But power with empathy leads to impact. Heaven knew this, which is why you were trained through hard times. You can now carry a lot of things without losing your humility, your power, or your purity. You are not just starting a new chapter, chosen one. It's a new name, a new world, and a different spiritual frequency. This is the end result of everything that heaven has planned for you. The fear that held you back is gone. The doubt that held you back has gone away. The fear that used to keep you quiet has gone away. You are rising now as the person you were always meant to be, not the person you used to be. Heaven goes up with you as you rise. Angels go ahead of you. Chances line up behind you. Favor is all around you. Good things come your way. You are following a path that was planned for you before you were born. It can't be stopped. There's no way to delay it. There is no way to undo it. Chosen one, the time for you to become has passed. The time for you to be has come. Be brave as you walk. Talk with confidence. Move with loyalty. Heaven has given you permission to rise. And the world is about to see what happens when a person who has been chosen finally becomes God. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit Community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. As this message comes to an end, chosen one, keep your spirit open, because heaven is still talking. Your exact Kairos moment has arrived. This is the time when everything changes for the better. The supernatural transfer isn't coming up. It is already taking place. Right now, every good thing that has your name on it, it is moving toward you. Walk forward with respect, thanks, and the quiet confidence of someone who has been approved by God. You have been trained, polished, and put in the right place for this rise, and nothing can stop what God has started. So take a deep breath, Anointed One, and trust yourself as you enter this new world. If this word spoke to you, type 8.88 to make it official and send this message to another chosen person whose time has come. Keep your expectations high, stay aligned, and stay true to God, because your billionaire season is not a promise. It is your truth. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community. At the link in the description and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided e-books and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.